Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Velocity Travel. My name is Trish, and it's good to see you guys again today. I just wanted to go ahead and get into the video. Today, we're going to talk about my airport nightmare part two. Okay, so part one was being at the airport in RDU and missing my flight due to the servers being down. So now I'm going to talk about my luggage. So I ended up getting tickets for the very next day and got to the airport, checked in, went through security, and that was the easy part because I didn't have any luggage. So my luggage was supposedly at JFK because I was told that if I hadn't checked in from my flight from the previous day, they will not forward your luggage to the next country or the next, place that it's supposed to go, next destination. So I went, got on the plane, and it was like a 1 hour flight from Raleigh, Durham to JFK. So when I arrived at JFK, it was like about 7:30, maybe. I think about 7:30. So I got there, and what's funny is there was another lady that was at RDU with me the day before who also missed her flight. And she was on a work trip and she was going to Kuwait. And her luggage was on the same flight as mine. So she was trying to do the same thing, trying to locate her luggage and things like that. So when I got to JFK, I went to JetBlue. They had an office there, almost like customer service office. You go through some doors and there's some women sitting there. And lo and behold, I actually see the other lady that missed her flight the day before, the one that was going to Kuwait. And she was like, "Did you find your bags?" And I was like, "Well, no, I was told to come here." She was like, "Yes, they just told me that my bags are in holding." She was like, "So I have to get on the train and go to a different terminal for whatever airline that she was taking." So I said, okay, so her luggage is here. So I wasn't as nervous because I was like, well, if her luggage is showing in the system, then mine should too, because it was on the same flight. So I spoke with the lady, customer service rep. She was really nice. And she was like, yes, I'm showing your luggage is still here at JFK. It's like, yes, my luggage is here. I'm excited. Need to take the Sky Train and go to Terminal 1 or something like that. Okay, so took the Sky Train, and this is my first time flying out of JFK, or actually um, being at that airport. I've been to a lot of airports, but I just never had any connecting flights to JFK. So I got on that Sky Train, and the next thing you know, I was in Jamaica something. I don't know, but I didn't get off when I was supposed to. So I was just riding for like 30 minutes. But then, of course, the train just goes down and then it comes back. So I stayed on the train, and then it's at Terminal 1. Got off of the train, went downstairs I was flying Turkish Airlines. So you actually have to, I think it was go downstairs, but you go downstairs and you go to an office that holds all the missing luggage. Okay. So at this time it's like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock maybe. And, you know, I see there's no one there. And I'm like, I had a connecting flight, and I think my connecting flight was at 11. I think it was at 11:40. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit here in the chairs, go to the restroom and, go through my phone and talk to a few people, try to make the time go by a little faster. So I sat there, and then I think it was like around 8:30 maybe. I saw the lights come on. and there was a lady there, and she was getting ready, getting set up and stuff, and she was like, I was like, oh, hi, good morning, I have a connecting flight, I'm looking for my luggage. She was like, well, we don't open until 9 o'clock. Like, okay. So I'm like, but I have a connecting flight. Oh, you'll have time. I mean, at this point, everyone had an attitude from the day before at RDU, now at JFK. I'm like, people are just so rude, you know. So I was like, okay, whatever. So 9 o'clock got there, and then there was a couple of other people there, and there was this huge room with just large amounts of luggage. So they started like bringing some of the luggage out and just sitting it outside of the room, I guess. So when people came, they could kind of locate their luggage. So they had that room. And then, when I gave them my ticket that showed my luggage, where it was checked in and things like that, they were like, okay, we got to get someone to go, one of the baggage boys to go out to find your luggage. So my luggage actually wasn't in that holding area. It was like, I guess in a different area. I don't know. So I waited and I waited. And the thing about it was the baggage boys weren't there yet, or the baggage people. I'll put it like this, baggage people. So they weren't there yet. So this was 9:30. Finally someone comes and it's like, okay, well, someone's going to be looking for your baggage. So all of a sudden there's a line of people. I'm just talking randomly to people. Someone is looking for their computer. Someone is looking for his baggage. I think he was from Dubai. They did not locate his baggage. And so, that was that. And then I want to say it was probably like about 10, maybe about 10:15. I went up to the counter and I was like, this is after 9 o'clock, an hour later. And I'm like, okay, um, are there any updates about my luggage? And she was like, oh yeah, someone's looking for it, whatever. So I mean, they saw me standing there. No one said anything. They just let me stand there like I was lost, which I felt lost because I didn't have my luggage. And not only did I have like stuff for me in there, like my life is in there because that's all I have is my check bag, my carry-on, right? And then of course I already had my backpack. So I'm like, my life is in that bag. And then I had some other stuff in there too. So I'm like, I need that bag, because that's everything, all of my worldly possessions. So, I mean, just everybody was just, like they hated their job. They didn't want to be there. They didn't want to help you. It was just, the rolling of the eyes, the smacking of the lips. I'm like, so I just waited patiently. So probably around 11, maybe right at 11 or 10:45, maybe like 10:45, around 10:45, my luggage comes and I'm like, yes. So, I open it up, make sure everything is there. And, I call my sister and I tell her, I'm like, okay, found the luggage because I was also bringing some things to her. We actually met in Albania and just became really good friends. And, now we're just going to be traveling together. And so she had, ordered some things from the US. So I was bringing it back to her. So that was some valuable luggage because we had some women things in there, things that we need, for our hair, skin, and, all of that good stuff, the stuff we can't live without. So got my luggage and then I'm hightailing it upstairs because still got to go through security. Actually, no, before I go through security, yeah, I did have to go through security because I had to recheck my bags. So before I went through security, I had to go, I think, upstairs and around the corner to go to Turkish Airlines to recheck my bags again. So recheck my bags. She gave me, new tickets and, receipts for my bags or whatever. Then I had to go back through security. And every airport is different. Like some airports, you don't have to take off your shoes. Some others, you do have to take off your shoes. You have to take off your watch. When I was in RDU, I didn't have to pull my laptop or my tablet or my phone or anything like that out of my bag. They just scanned everything. And when I got to JFK, I had to take my laptop, my phone. I had to take off my watch. I had to take off my shoes. Any electronics, you had to take all of that stuff out. So did all that, went through, and I made it to my terminal in time. But the thing that I guess I don't really understand is if you have a baggage claim area, it's a 24-hour airport. People's luggage get missing all the time. Why do you have a set time to open? I mean, if somebody needs their luggage and their flight is leaving within an hour, why isn't there someone to help? I mean, just some things don't make sense. There should be a 24-hour person there working at the luggage counter or whatever you want to call it, the lost and found. Someone should be there at all times. Because if I didn't have a 5-hour delay at JFK, then unfortunately, I wouldn't have been able to get my luggage. And that would have been a whole nother situation. So, anyways, I, got to my terminal, got on my flight. And what's funny is I was sitting beside a lady and her daughter while I was sitting there in the terminal, waiting for them to check us in for the flight. And they were from Albania, which is so funny because I was just in Albania for about 4 months earlier this year, and we were talking, and they had been living in the U.S. for a while, many years, but they were going back to visit their family and things like that. Very nice people and stuff like that. And they were asking me, what did I think about the country? And we started talking about the food and how things have changed over the years. And I think the little girl was maybe about 12, but we were talking and stuff, and so it was time to go through the line and get your ticket scanned and get on the plane and things like that. So I never like jump up and try to like get on the plane first, even when they call like you know certain areas, they say 1 through 15 or group C or group D or whatever, because it's different for every airport. I never get on the plane with my group. I always wait to the last person to get on the plane because for one reason, you rush up there, you're going to be standing in a line to get on the plane, when you're standing through the little tunnel, you're just going to be standing there with a lot of people. Another thing is, I mean, you have an assigned seat. So there's no need to rush unless you have a lot of luggage and you're worried about not finding a place for your luggage. But I mean, if I have a checked bag and if I have a carry-on and it's not checked in, and they want to check it for free, be my guest. So I'm always the last person to get on the plane because another reason is it's hot up there. Like you be the first person to get on the plane, regardless of your seat number, and you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there, and there's air blowing out, but there it is not cold, it is not cool, it is not lukewarm. It's just hot, and there's no circulation, and I can't do that. So I don't want to be sitting in a plane for 30 minutes just because I want to get in my seat first. I mean, it's no race. So yeah, I was the last person to get on the plane. I think there was one other person behind me. So when I got to my seat, lo and behold, it was the lady and the girl that I was talking to for like 30 minutes in the airport. So I always get an aisle seat because I don't like to sit by the window, which I guess the window seat is a good place to sit, for sleeping because my flight was 10 hours from JFK to Istanbul, Turkey was 10 hours. But I don't like if I have to go to the bathroom or something, I don't want to have to like crawl over other people. And then I feel like I'm just too cooped up. So I always sit on the aisle. So I sit on the aisle too, because if I want to stand up, I can stand up. If I want to stretch, I can stretch. If I want to just move around, if I need to go to the bathroom or anything like that. So I ended up sitting beside my new friends and we talked and we just, kind of bonded a little bit, about their country and, about things here in the US and things like that. Well, they're in the US because I'm not in the US. I am currently in Batumi, Georgia, which is located beside Turkey. It's on the border of Turkey and Russia and like think Armenia. And yeah, I'm over here in that area. But yeah, so had a good flight. Unfortunately, I didn't sleep. I drink some chamomile tea and I probably slept an hour and a half, if that long. I watched a movie. I forget what was the name of that movie. I watched a really good movie. I can't remember the name of it now, but I watched a movie and listened to some music and, it was a good flight. There wasn't a lot of turbulence until my flight from Turkey to Batumi, Georgia. There was turbulence there, but during the 10-hour flight, I don't like to fly, believe it or not. I just kind of I fly because that's the only way I'm going to get anywhere, but there wasn't a lot of turbulence. Every now and then, and I always try to sit by the wings because if you sit by the wings, you don't feel the turbulence as much. I think when you sit at the front of the plane, the back of the plane, you feel more turbulence. So, yeah, it was a good flight. Now, I will say this. I've flown on a lot of airlines, and my top airline has always been Emirates. Emirates, glitz and gold. The food was good, good customer service. The seats were comfortable. They give you all of these goodies, like for a long time, long hour flights, pillows and all of that stuff. But it's really nice stuff. And when they serve you your food, you actually have silverware, like real silverware. It's not paper, it's not plastic. The forks and spoons are gold. I mean, very good. I love Emirates. But I'm going to have to say, you know, Turkish Airlines is up there. Turkish Airlines is up there. The customer service was excellent. The staff was excellent. The food was amazing. The food was amazing. And they fed us like the whole flight. I mean, usually like a long flight like that, you'll get like a snack and they'll bring you your dinner and then they'll bring drinks and stuff like that. And then the next morning, you'll get maybe 2 hours before you land, you will get like breakfast and then drinks. But I mean, I had so they had the snacks. They bought, of course you can get your wine and all of that stuff. You had your dinner. The dinner was like four different things. I think I had like chicken, and then I had like some yogurt, I had some fruit, I had some cheese and a salad, and I had I'm not a chocolate person, but I also had some kind of chocolate cake. And then later on, they bought something else. I can't remember, but there was a lot of food. I want to say we've received food like 3 or 4 times. Usually it's twice. And then also the flight from Turkey to Batumi, they bought food, and that flight was only like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. I mean, so yeah, I was really surprised. But, I can say that Turkish Airlines is right up there with Emirates. I really enjoyed their service and the food and the customer service and things like that. So, yeah. But I've been here now for about a week, and actually, it's been right at a week because today is Saturday. So I'm gonna also do a video and talk about, my week update and how things are going, my impressions of the country, the culture, the people, things like that, what I've been doing. But yeah, so that's about it. Got my luggage, minus the rude people and, you know, all of that, but I was able to get here safely and things like that. But, the moral of the story is, traveling is fun, but it's not always easy. I mean, you have your trials and tribulations and things like that. And I freak out sometimes. I do. But especially when I miss my flight, that was the first time. Well, actually, the second time that's happened. The other time was when I was in Vietnam, but that was something different. But missing my flight and my luggage flying without me, and just seeing my plane like go down the runway and my luggage is gone. That was scary. I freaked out. But, at the end of the day, there's no need of worrying about things you can't control, right? That's a motto of mine. Just worry about the things that you can and try to control it. It was definitely out of my hands. I just had to depend on the system, right? The system of the airlines and hoping that all of that stuff worked out. So, and it did. So, just to let you know that if this does happen to you, you miss a flight, try to talk to, someone and, hopefully someone can help you. If that person doesn't help you, go to someone else because in order for me to get all the information I needed to get another flight and also to get my, to see where my luggage was at, I had to talk to several people because people are not going to always want to help. And nowadays, it just seems like people are just on their phones all the time. They're just working, they're clocked in, but they're working by looking on their phones and being on social media all day. I mean, that's what I saw in the airport. You go up and ask a question, and they are on their phone, looking down at their phone, and they're looking at you like, "Why are you bothering me? Because I'm really not working today. I'm really not. This is not my job." So yeah. But yeah, just try to stay calm and talk to several people, and try to figure out what's going on and try not to panic. It's hard not to panic, but things worked out. And like I say, if it's beyond your control, you just gotta rely on the system and hope that, everything works out for the best. So, guys, that's it for now. Until next time, thank you for tuning into Bellosity Travel. There will be more videos, more lives, more travel information, hacks, and all of that good stuff. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. Until next time, have a good day.